Hey, what's up you guys? So today's gonna be just like a little story time video. So this happened in the summer, kind of like right before school started, and I was going to just get like a regular like checkup, and after my checkup, I'd get my blood, I didn't have to get my blood drawn. I guess I kind of chose to get my blood drawn, but I mean, do you really ever want to get your blood drawn? I don't know about you guys, but like getting my blood drawn makes me really nervous. I hate like needles, anything medical, just it all freaks me out. It makes my anxiety levels like to the roof. There's two people in the room. I guess I should start by saying that. There's like two people, this guy who's maybe like in his like 40s or 50s, maybe 50s, and then this girl who's probably like in her 30s. And the girl's the one that's like doing my blood drawing. He's just like sitting there. I don't really know why he's there. My mom is there with me too, which once you hear the story, thank goodness my mom was there with me, because I'm glad I had somebody to witness this, because the story is about to get crazy. It's not that crazy, but it's kind of weird. She's trying to take my blood from like here, you know, like where they normally take it from, whatever. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, I can't really find, like sometimes they have a hard time finding your veins or whatever. And she's like, oh, I can't really find like a good place to draw it from. So, I'm gonna have to do it from your hand. Like right here in my hand, like on the vein in your hand. And I'm like, say what? Say what? Say what? I think that my anxiety level literally in that second went like I just snapped. Like I went from like here to like here. I was like, what? Like I started shaking like immediately. I was like, I'm like, my eyes were tearing up and everything. I'm like, this story makes me sound like such a baby. I'm sorry. I just get anxious about needles and medical stuff. But I'm like shaking and I'm like, I'd rather you not do it in my hand. Couldn't you just try it in my arm first? Like, I've never had it drawn in my hand. That makes me really nervous and like kind of uncomfortable. I don't want you to draw it from my hand. She's like, don't tell me how to do my job. And I'm sitting here like, don't tell me I gotta put a needle in my hand. Then mind you, I didn't say anything, so I was like, huh? I didn't realize I was like telling you how to do your job. Like usually when you're at a doctor or somewhere like that, you tell them like what you're comfortable and not comfortable with, and they're supposed to like respect that. And mind you, it wasn't like I had to get my blood drawn that day. I personally chose to get it drawn just to get a reading of all my levels of everything and whatever. So like, mind you, I could have just left there and not gotten it done and it wouldn't have mattered. And I'm like, look, like I'm really uncomfortable with you taking it from my hand. And my mom's kind of like, she always gets it from her arm. Like, can't you just try it in her arm? It's always worked there. And like, they're still just like, don't tell me how to do my job. And the guy in the back's like, don't tell us how to do our job. And I'm over here like, what? Like, what is happening? Like, I've never been like backsassed by like people in a place like this. Or, and it wasn't even like we were being a problem. Like, it wasn't like I was screaming and crying like, don't put it in my hand. Like, it was nothing like that. It was just like, look, like, I am uncomfortable with you putting that in my hand, you know? And I look down and she's going to put the needle in my hand. And so I like pull my hand away like so slightly. Like, it wasn't like I hit her hand. It's not like the needle was like right here and I like jerked it away or something. It was nothing like that. The needle was probably like here, but I could tell that she was going to put it in my hand. So I went like this. And I'm not even kidding you. This is where the story sounds like unreal. Like, I was in so much shock when this was happening, and my mom was just sitting there like, what? Like, both of us just had no clue what was going on. And so the lady throws like the gloves she's wearing and like the little needle thingy. She just throws them across the room, and I'm like she just throws it, and I'm like, huh? Like, what is happening? I felt like I was in like a movie. I felt like I was getting punked. Ashton Kutcher was gonna jump out of the closet or something. Like, what is happening? Like, it wasn't like I was throwing a fit or anything. Like, I'm an adult. If I tell you that I'm uncomfortable with a needle going in my hand, when it's not something necessary for me to do anyways, like, you don't put a needle in my hand. Like, I feel like that's like a lawsuit waiting to happen if she had put the needle in my hand. Like, if an adult tells you they don't want you to do something, like, you don't do it. And she throws this stuff across the room, and I'm just in shock. I'm like, what? So I start crying and shaking even more, because I'm like, what is happening right now? She like kind of cools down for a second, and I think they can tell that me and my mom are like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is so unprofessional. Like, it was just crazy. And And it's not like I was even prompting this. Like, honestly, I'd been in the room for like a minute and a half. I was a little nervous. Like, I wasn't screaming or causing problems or things like that. I wasn't doing anything to deserve the way she was acting. And I think that even if I were in a place like that, in a situation like that, it's still unprofessional, you know what I mean? Then she's like, look, okay, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry about that. And she was like, oh, and I forgot to say, when she threw the stuff, she's like, we're done here. And I'm like, say what? But I was kind of like, okay, like, get me out of here. But then she's like, look, like, I'm sorry about that. And then the guy is like trying to talk me through it to, like, I don't know, make me feel better. He was a total jerk. And he's like, I don't know, he's just telling stupid jokes and being like a total jerk. And like, you can tell he's like mocking me for being nervous. And like, I was shaking and stuff. So the girl's like, oh, do you need some juice? Which I like thought was nice or whatever. But then she's like, Mom, do you need some too? Like, mocking that my mom was like getting upset. And I'm like, girl, we're in like a professional environment. You threw your needle across the room. Like, you guys are being so rude to me. I'm like having an anxiety attack and you're gonna like sass my mom for being upset. Like, that's just like where I draw the line. Like, that's terrible. She finally just draws it here where you're supposed to do it, and she's like, oh, that worked. I'm like, yeah, it worked. That's where they always do it for me. I told you, like, I know. Like, I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but I think I know the way that things are done to me better than you know when you've never done this to me before. The guy starts talking to me, and this was the day after I got my hair originally, it's not even teal anymore, but it was the day after I had originally gotten my hair dyed teal. So I'm like all excited about it. I'm like, yes, I'm loving this hair. I was so pumped that I finally done it. And the guy just looks at me and he's like, why? And I'm like, tears in my eyes, like just sitting there like, huh, like I thought it was over. I thought the worst was over. And he's like, why? And I'm like, what? And he's like, why the hair? Why would you dye your hair that color? And I'm just like, cause like I like it. I don't know. And I was just so nervous I didn't even know what to say to him. I think I just kept saying like, I don't know. And he's like, so what? Do you have piercings? Do you have tattoos? Cause like usually hair that looks like that means piercing and tattoos. So I'm sitting here like, you people threw stuff across the room. Now you're gonna place like stereotypes on me where you just have no place to even talk to me about something like that. Like, this is not the time or place for you to be questioning like my appearance and like prodding me and like, do you have tattoos? Do you have this and that? I was already so upset about everything that was happening, and it's like, now you're gonna stereotype me, and I'm like, this is the day after I got my hair dyed and like I'm getting crap for it already. And I'm like, no, like, I know, just saying, prefacing this, there's nothing wrong with having tattoos and piercings. I find like nothing wrong at all with having piercings, tattoos, that is fine. But he was saying it in a way that he was implying like, oh, so what, do you have like piercings and tattoos? And I'm like, no, like just my ears pierced. And he's like, oh, because usually hair like that means tattoos and piercings. And then he's like, oh, but oh wait, you can't handle a needle, so I guess you wouldn't be able to have tattoos and piercings. And I'm just like, what? Like, it's just like, it just kept going and going, and I'm like, get me out of this room, like, and I was like on my way out the door. It's not like he was trying to make small talk to make me less nervous. Like, I'm on my way out the door, I'm leaving, I'm already crying, I'm so over this whole situation, and he stops me to like, be all sassy and stuff about my hair, and like, when we left, I was so frustrated. I was like crying for the rest of the day, and I just like kept getting so frustrated because I was like, I wish I stood up for myself. Like, it made me sick that I didn't stand up for myself. But I was just so shocked. Like, I feel like you don't expect to be in like a medical, you know, center place getting your blood drawn by professionals. Like, you don't expect to be treated that way. Like, I've never had an issue like that. My mom was like really upset about the situation, but like in it, neither of us knew what to say. Like, we had no clue. Like, what do we say? This girl that was going after me while I was still sitting there, like, regaining myself, she comes in. She's probably, like, 16, 17, I don't know. And she's like, oh, like, my doctor told me, like, giving some sort of instruction of how they should do it for her because of, I don't know, some sort of medical thing she has. I don't know. But she was telling them what her doctor told her to tell them. And they were like, don't tell us how to do our job. Look, we know how to do our job. Don't tell us how to do our job. So I'm like, it wasn't just me. Like, they're doing this to somebody else too. I was so frustrated, and it was like, I was upset that they yelled at me, and I was upset that they like disrespected the fact that I was nervous. I was upset that they disrespected the fact that I'm an adult, and I told them, don't put a needle in my hand. I was upset that they were stereotyping me. I was upset that they were mocking my hair choices the day after I got it, and I was feeling good about it. And like, then they yell at some other girl too, and I'm like, they should know better than that. Like, all sorts of people come into doctor's offices and things. Like, you can't, I mean, I guess this applies for everybody really too, but it just seems like someone in the medical field should at least know better. But it's like, you never know what people are going through. Like, you never know if the things you're saying could like set someone over the edge. Like, just don't, I don't know. I was just so sick about like how they treated me, and like the fact that me being way younger than them and working in a restaurant, I can be way more professional than that. And like, yeah, I feel like losing my cool sometimes if I get frustrated, which I don't even think I gave them a reason to lose their cool, to be honest. But even when I'm given like so many reasons to lose my cool in my restaurant, like, I don't, because that's disrespect. I mean, obviously they're being disrespectful to you, but you've got to be like the bigger person and be like, oh, I'm so sorry about that. Like, I'll get a manager, I'll get you some help. Like, you can't just be like, that's it, like throw their food in their face. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, why does your hair look like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't do stuff like that. I don't know. There's my story. Moral of the story, be respectful to everybody. Don't stereotype people. Be nice to people. If you work in the medical field, don't act like that. I don't know, but alright, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this story. Let me know if you've had any similar stories. Leave those in the comments below. Let me know if you want some more story time videos. I can try to come up with some more not so boring stories, some more like exciting stories for you guys. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. All my social media stuff's in the description as always. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down there to join me on my journey here on YouTube, and I will catch you guys later. Bye!